Hi, we're at the Robust Walkathon, and I'm here with Jerry King, one of Alexandria's Robust Walkathon leaders. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, how are you doing this morning?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
So tell us about your program.
Well, we meet 3 days a week at 8 o'clock at north of the Mount Vernon School at the intersection of Mount Vernon and Commonwealth. Geez.
Mm-hmm. That's
blank.
okay.
Anyway.
That's all right.
Anyway, so we meet for an hour, do low impact exercises. We do walking and exercising, and sometimes we just do balancing exercises, and most importantly we do falling exercises. We practice falling so we know how to fall so we won't hurt ourselves.
Oh, that's great. And again, what days do you meet?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 o'clock.
And if people are interested in joining you, how do they find out or get in touch with you?
Well, they can go to Biking and Walking in Alexandria. If they Google that, it'll show up, the Robust Walking Group.
Great.
And they get all the information. And we can certainly use more people. Everybody needs exercise.
Absolutely.
It's a fun group.
So join Jerry's fun group and check it out, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bob, tell us a little bit. Those of us that have gotten over 50 years of age have gotten a card in the mail that's automatic. How you find us, I don't know, but we get the good news. We're now eligible for AARP. The audience may not know the breadth of AARP. I'm sure they've had that experience, but tell us a little bit about AARP, and then we'll focus in on the long-term health situation.
Thanks, Jim, for having me on the show.
Sure.
And AARP is, you're right, it's a big operation. It serves well over 30 million people. You get that card, use that card. Mm-hmm. It offers you discounts, it offers you opportunities to travel and do a lot of really good things. But AARP is really driven by a social mission to make life for people 50 and over as meaningful as possible.
Okay.
We have programs like Life Reimagined, where you can take your own self and examine what you might want to be doing more as you get older, so you have opportunities to contribute to your community throughout your lifespan, which a lot of older people want to do. We take public policy issues, we defend the rights of older people to be protected from Social Security cuts and Medicare cuts, and we also do local programs. I'm the state president in Virginia, which is a wonderful volunteer job that I encourage people to think about, offering things like tax aid preparation, driver safety programs, and then our Home Safe program. You know, our favorite saying is, you know, it's not you that's getting old, it's your house that's getting old. And you need to make the necessary changes in your home to make it safe so you can age in place very comfortably there.
Now, on long-term health care, tell us a little bit how AARP or State of Virginia, from your position, what's the need? What kinds of problems or issues, and then how does AARP try to address some of those?
Well, long-term care as a national issue is a huge issue. It's actually America's denial issue. We just pretend that it really doesn't exist. Yet we have a growing population of people who need long-term care and services. We spend $182 billion a year on long-term care, and that number is going to double by the year 2030, because we have, you know, people with different levels of care that are necessary. But long-term care really is not just nursing home care. Mm-hmm. Long-term care involves the full gamut of supports and services that people need, whether assisted living or home care, respite care, care coordination. And the discussion, happily, after all these years, is moving away from that narrow focus on just nursing home care to a broader discussion of what is needed at the home and community level to keep seniors independent and being as comfortable in their lifespan as possible.
When you talk about long-term care, where's the border between a trip to the doctor, outpatient surgery? At what point do you begin to kick into the idea of long-term care?
Well, a lot of it's going to depend on whether you have a chronic illness of some kind or another, and that's going to require more attention over a period of time. You know, the long-term care can be, you know, related to a period of time after, you know, an injury of some kind, or it could be dementia that requires a certain level of care going forward. But what we don't have in this country is a national long-term care policy. We have a Medicaid program that provides 49% of all spending on long-term care, but you have to spend down your assets and become poor to become eligible. Medicare does very little for long-term care, even though a lot of people think it covers long-term care. We need to really go back and look at the basic elements of what long-term care is about. It's a public-private partnership we need to put together. Okay, the private sector has a role for people like who need long-term care insurance and other products of that nature. You know, the very poor should have Medicaid, and that's the goal. That's the role of the government to do Medicaid. And in Virginia, as you know, our big top issue is trying to get Medicaid expanded for 400,000 low-income Virginians who need that coverage. And what people don't understand oftentimes, particularly the opponents of it, is that, yes, the federal government will cover 100% of the cost of expanding Medicaid in the first 2 years. The state must kick in something in the third year, but Medicaid expansion creates 30,000 jobs just in the state of Virginia, which would more than offset the need and the revenues that would require to do Medicaid expansion. But it's about a broader look at a lot of programs. Mary Lee knows about the Older Americans Act and the great programs that that has. That's a home and community-based long-term care program. It's just not called that. So.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Beatty with Senior Services of Alexandria, and we're back in Inova Alexandria's kitchen with Chef Hans. Hi, Chef. How are you?
Hi, Mary Ann. Welcome back.
Thank you. So are we going to do a little something with tomatoes
Let's
today?
cook with taters.
Good. Yay. All right. What are we going to do first?
Well, the first dish I'm going to make is what I call a pasta checkup.
Oh.
And a checka is basically a raw tomato sauce. And so we're going to make a pasta dish with some fresh tomatoes. And it's kind of not like your regular marinara where you cook the sauce ahead of time.
Right.
Should I get started?
Yes. Let's.
Okay.
Yes.
First thing you always want to do is we're going to get our pan good and hot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spritz it with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
All righty. Good for your heart.
Yep. And then some garlic. Remember last time you were here, I told you not to be a garlic weenie? Yeah. So we're back to that.
And I see that. I know.
When you cook with garlic. So all I want to do is get a little color on the garlic.
Okay.
On the garlic.
All right.
And get the pan good and hot.
Yes.
And then once that's going, we're going to add some fresh tomatoes.
Oh,
Let me call your attention to what beautiful tomatoes we have in season right now.
Wow! Explain the different ones we have.
Well, we got some yellow ones. We've got these are like our regular tomatoes.
Yeah.
And these are purple Cherokees. And I don't recall the name of this one.
Okay, all right.
But they're all beautiful. They're all different.
Oh, it's
and they're
wonderful.
that perfect texture where they just full of bursting with flavor and juice.
Wonderful. I'm not familiar with the Cherokee. I don't know about that.
You'll see most grocery stores have them, and some of the stores I've been to, they're growing them hothouse all year round.
All right.
But these are fresh, local here from Virginia.
Oh, great, great. All righty.
So I've got a little color on the garlic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let it sit like that. Then I'm going to add some of my pasta, and I've got whole wheat penne pasta.
Okay. We're eating very healthy.
Of course. Whole wheat penne pasta. So you'll notice that I don't have any liquid going on in here.
Right.
Because I know that I've got to have a lot of liquid coming off of the tomatoes.
So this is dry pasta.
Cooked.
Cooked?
It's already cooked.
Cooked, okay.
Yep.
All right, okay.
So cooked pasta. Then I'm going to add some of my beautiful tomatoes. Just a little bit, a little of each kind.
Oh, pretty.
Remember, I said this is going to be called a raw sauce.
Yes.
So I don't want to overcook it.
Okay.
Some fresh basil.
Ooh. Oh, that looks yummy.
You smell the fresh basil coming off of there already?
I do.
I've got a plate.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some fresh mozzarella to go on top.
Of course.
Just a little bit. When the fresh mozzarella goes in, that's basically done. I don't want to cook it too much more with the fresh mozzarella.
Oh, how wonderful. Turn your oven off for you? Okay, I'll do that. Oh,
fresh
perfect.
pasta alla Checkup.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Can I taste it?
Yep, I've got spoons.
All right, perfect. Oh, thank you.
You got two there.
I do have two. Oh, let me just see. Yummy. Oh, that's really
You get that
yum.
bright, fresh flavor.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And the
yum.
beautiful thing about it is we don't need to make a, spend 2 hours making a marinara sauce.
No, it's perfect. Oh, thanks for sharing that.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Greene, and I'm the Senior Center Director of the Senior Center at Charles Houston, located inside of the Charles Houston Recreation Center at 901 Wythe Street in Alexandria, Virginia. We are the East End Senior Center, and we're open for seniors age 60 and older who reside on the east end of Alexandria, east of North Jordan Street in Alexandria. We offer a variety of social, recreational, wellness activities for our senior group. Our seniors have fun daily, coming in, playing games, doing exercises such as arthritis exercise, yoga, and staff-led stretching exercises to get the morning started, as well as individual walks within the center as well as around the community. We also are considered to be a congregate meal site in that we serve lunches daily, Monday through Friday, at the noon hour. The congregate meal program helps a lot of our seniors who don't like to eat alone or like to eat in a group setting, as well as it provides a nutritionally balanced opportunity for a meal, and you don't have to prepare it. Our meals are catered in through Jeffrey's Catering of Alexandria, Virginia. There's a unique history with the Senior Center at Charles Houston. We were formerly known as the Crunch Bunch, and this center has been in operation since 1972, which is approximately 43 years. Can you believe that? A senior center for 43 years. Again, we are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We go on trips as well, cultural field trips, as well as weekly shopping trips to local area shopping malls and centers. We also attend plays. We go to musicals and concerts. And now that the weather is heating up, we look forward to our Wednesday and Friday pool days at the center. We have a trained volunteer who comes to offer assistance with our seniors for those who want to learn how to swim or just to navigate in chest-high water. Additionally, during the summer months, we go to the various parks and outdoor centers for cookouts and picnics. We also like to attend open-air concerts at various parks and centers throughout the metropolitan area. To join our center, we suggest that you call our number 703-746-5456, or please visit us on our web at chseniors.wordpress.com. Once again, our number is 703-746-5456, or you can visit us on the web at chseniors.wordpress.com. Come and join us. If you're 60 years of age and older, you won't regret it. You'll have a wonderfully fun time at our center. Come see us soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, we're back again with Dr. Dan Kulund, who is an orthopedic surgeon and also on the City of Alexandria's Commission on Aging. And more importantly, the inventor of robust walking. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, good.
For feeling robust.
Yes, exactly. So today you're going to tell us just a little bit about robust walking and how you can get involved and kind of what it involves.
Ellie, robust walking is a way to stay robust as you get older. And robust means vigorous and healthy and strong. And the components of it include what we call be safe. And B stands for balance, S for strength, A for agility, F for flexibility, and E for endurance. And all of them are addressed in robust walking. And in robust walking, you a lot of times do dual tasks where you're walking and you weave in low intensity calisthenics into the walk. And you use environmental props for exercise. That is, you can use benches, walls, poles, trees, and when I'm walking, robust walking with my dog, he also uses the fire hydrant. So as you're walking, you can do these different exercises, and you can also use, and I just happen to have one in my back pocket,
Of course you do.
the bicycle inner tube, and you can do what's called tubics. Now, I get these tubes from Pro Bicycle Shop on Duke Street, and the fellas there, when they get an old bicycle tube, they put them in a box for me, and I pick them up once a week. And when I get home, I cut out the valve and then wash the tube on the outside and then squirt water on the inside. And now we have a clean tube. And then you have a handy dandy exercise device
Perfect.
that costs 0 cents. And you can do things like put it under your foot and do your overhead press like that. And to make it tougher, especially in baseball season, we say you choke up. You choke up and push it up hard like that. And so you can use that anywhere. You can use it at home, on the road, and even in long distance travel. And the main feature of the robust walking is using your environment for exercise. And you'd be surprised how much you can do on a common bench or on a wall or against a tree. And then you can be totally fit.
Very good. So if someone wants to get one of these inner tubes, how do they go about that?
If you go to a bicycle shop and you tell the fellas that work there, the nicest guys in the world, you just say what you'd like to do. And the next time they get a bicycle tube, where they used to years ago, they used to patch tubes, but now they just toss out the tubes with punctures and replace them. And so they'll just put it aside for you and just bring it home and cut the valve out and do, as I mentioned, clean it, and you're good to go.
Very good, so not too hard. Well, thanks for speaking with us again today.
Pleasure.
We're happy to have you.
Yep. Thank you.
One of the programs that we've been working on is our work with senior animals. So this is Satchmo, who is a 12-year-old Chihuahua. And we have a program here for seniors, senior animals that are 8 years or older, so cats, dogs, anything, or can be adopted by a senior who's 65 years or older for free. There's no adoption fees at all. And we do that because we truly believe that it's important for us to find companions for these guys. And seniors, everyone who has an animal really benefits from them. And it's a truly source of inspiration in people's lives, improves health. There's been tons of studies on how it can reduce depression, reduce heart attacks, blood pressure. All of these things that we get concerned about as we get age are things that animals can really help us with.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Beatty with Senior Services of Alexandria, and I'm pleased to be here with retired Colonel Tom Christensen, who is with the senior historian with the Office of Secretary of Defense Historical Office. Colonel Christensen is going to talk to us about the upcoming events that are commemorating the 100th anniversary of the beginning of World War I, the war to end all wars. And we're going to find out what's happening in Alexandria and learn all about Colonel Christensen. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about you and what the celebration and what it entails.
Sure. I'm a former colonel from the United States Army. I retired in 1997. I'm fortunate to be a committee member of the sister city committee, Alexandria and Caen, and therefore there is a French connection, and that's one of the reasons why we're giving this on the first week of November, which also commemorates what we call Veterans Day, but in Europe is called Remembrance Day or Armistice Day, because that's when World War I ended. And so as part of the sister city and Alexandria, I'm giving this presentation at the Lyceum on the 5th of November. I'm going to be talking about, in particular, the great French contribution to the war because of our sister city status with France. And many people look at the French as, because of what happened in World War II, as giving up to the Germans and things like that, without understanding the incredible sacrifice that they had went through in World War I, where 1 million, almost 1,400,000 French soldiers died in World War I. More than 5 million were injured. And of that total, 60% of all French soldiers who participated in World War I were either killed or maimed, meaning they lost a limb.
Oh boy.
60%.
Wow.
75% of the entire total that participated in the war were killed or wounded.
Oh boy.
So it's an incredible
yeah.
sacrifice, and
yes.
people need to understand that. And then the second half of the participation is going to talk about how the Americans came in 1917, because we don't join the war until 1917, and basically get there just in the nick of time as the French are buckling because of the high casualties. The Americans get there literally within days and weeks of that final German attack that is within range. They're actually shooting into Paris with their large cannon and save the day type of thing. Just as a comparison, though, as far as casualties, the American contribution was enormous and certainly was the tipping point. We took 117,000 American soldiers died in World War I, but that was only 8% of our population was killed and wounded. Again, compared to the French, 75% of all French men between the ages of 18 and 28 were killed or wounded.
Boy, I don't think too many people
it's
know
an
those
incredible
statistics.
statistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Mary Lee Anderson. I'm Executive Director of Senior Services of Alexandria. I'm here at Alexandria City Hall because we have a very exciting event happening this evening. SSA is receiving the 2015 Excellence in Aging Award from the Commission on Aging. We're very appreciative of this honor and thankful to all the supporters and everyone who helped make it possible.
I think what's different about what you're doing is the caring component as well as the technical knowledge. And so you're going to have to select carefully somebody that is maybe a clone of you. I don't know if that's beyond our technology.
Well, I'm working on that in the basement of my house right now. But
that'll be a really big announcement. You heard it here first.
Yep, so that's the plan. But yes, you're right. Finding somebody who has the same philosophy will be very important to the continued success of the company.
What kind of fee structure, or what's the business side of it look like?
So I'm charging $40 an hour for in-person consulting. I also have a piece of secure software that I'm happy to install on a friend's computer after we've met that would help me port into their computer if they have
so
a
you
problem.
can work remotely.
Yes, and so working remotely, I charge $30 an hour for that. And so
you wouldn't do that for a new client. That would be an established relationship.
I think it's
and
important
the
to
trust
establish
and
that
rapport
trust.
and your knowledge of their needs.
Yes, in fact, a piece of advice that I would offer to everybody listening is that if you're ever on the phone with somebody and they ask to port into your computer or to download some sort of software so that they can sign on to your computer, think very carefully before you let that person do that.
Know who you're dealing with. That's good advice. All of us should pay heed to that. Are you meeting your targets in terms of doing this?
Well, I'm hoping that now I will, now that I've talked to you.
Well,
but
I hope so too.
Yes, things are progressing really nicely. And
I think the senior audience is a little bit different in terms of promoting. And certainly senior services and through its network of organizations, if you're tapping that, I think you're in a good place because there is a network there. Have you found that most of seniors that you've dealt with have the capability, either the hardware, software, background, and to take advantage of it?
Oh, sure. And I think that there are certain tricks of the trade that one can employ to make the experience as simple as possible. Not every program is going to be user-friendly right out of the box, and so it's important to provide plenty of written materials left behind for the person to use and practice with. I think that providing instructions that are linear, going from point A to B to C, that will help the person accomplish what they want to do is a good way to get things across.
Years ago, I was in a business executive, and I was managing a group of 25-year-olds, and I would have a problem with my computer, and they would come in and say, "Oh yes, click, 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 click," and they would leave.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there befuddled, and I think I needed somebody like you that would come in and say, the reason that you're doing that, and I'll write it down so that you can learn it, is an entirely different approach. And if that's what you're bringing to it, I think your success is inevitable. So.
Yeah, I would love to leave clients with feeling empowered to be able to continue their explorations on their own, knowing that they have a friend to call if they get confused or in trouble.
They'll put it on the screen, but what is your website?
It's www.digitalfairydust.com.
I know it's old-fashioned, but what's your phone number?
My phone number is 703-980-3883.
Okay. Well, we're about out of time, and we want to wrap this up, but I really appreciate the opportunity to learn, and hopefully the folks that are watching this will have a greater understanding of what you can do for them. I think it's a need, and I think you're filling it, not, as I say, not just technically, but also from a personal standpoint. So
Thank
wish you
you.
the best of luck.
Thank you. I
very
really
much.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.